Welcome to Begin As You Mean to Go On, where we help Black women with mission-driven service-based businesses grow your income and impact while creating a more peaceful, profitable business by strategically automating your critical business systems. My name is Karanda Adair, and I went from making $500 websites to becoming a certified automation service provider, doing multiple six figures per year while working part-time, wrangling 2 high-energy dogs, and having some of my highest revenue months while taking completely off-grid vacations, thanks to strategic automation and a small team. Inside my $1 Million Systems service and my Automation Club membership, we help you create a cohesive software stack and automate one new thing per month in your business, resulting in a compound interest of time, energy, and peace, so you can build your business without the patriarchal white supremacist hustle and grind. If you're ready to work hard once and hire and employ technology to execute proven marketing strategies so you can get back to the rest of your business and your life, you are in the right place. Let's get it going. Hey friends, welcome back to Begin As You Mean to Go On. I'm so happy to be bringing you this particular episode. This is an interview with one of my Automation Club members, LaShae Dorsey, and I have been talking about Automation Club on my socials. I've been doing show and tells. I've been sharing how we do co-working sessions, but I know that it just hits different when it comes from somebody on the inside who is actually benefiting. So please enjoy this episode with LaShae, who does somewhat similar work to me, but we serve different clientele and use different tools. And she was one of the ones who helped me realize that Automation Club is not just for non-techies the way that I envisioned it. It's also a refuge for my fellow systems girlies who need a place to get our own shit done and make sure that your cobbler's kids have shoes as well. So please enjoy the interview and leave a 5-star review when you're done. Welcome, LaShae. Thank you so much for chatting with me. Why don't you start by just telling the people who you are and what you do?
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, first of all. Hi, my name is LaShae Dorsey, and I actually help creative entrepreneurs and those with a helper spirit simplify the tech behind their online businesses so they can focus more on what they love and serve their audience and share their expertise out here in this digital world. But if you also do it offline, I can help you there too.
Awesome.
So,
Love it.
yep, that's
Yeah, we
pretty much
talk
what
so
I
much
do.
about online business owners, but I feel like people who have quote unquote offline businesses, brick and mortar, sometimes have the most to gain from using technology well. So
Absolutely.
I love that. So we're here to talk about Automation Club, which, has gone through many iterations. We're coming up on a year actually of a year anniversary. And so tell me how long you've been following me and like how we even got into each other's orbit, and then what was the catalyst that made you jump into Automation Club? Start there.
Well, so Karanda, I found you, oh my gosh, I think 2020, maybe 2021, somewhere in there. And to be honest, what I was looking for, because everyone that was talking about automations was not this.
Yeah,
And
not Black.
no, they were not Black at all, especially the women, because I was really trying to be conscious of following the women because the men that I had followed with automation, they were all, yeah, it was all broy. And
Mm-hmm.
I never really clicked with that, but I did like the idea of being able to automate things for people. But then I was like, I need to really learn this. Like, oh, sure, I can go out here and I can play and I can learn on my own, but I'm gonna always be questioning in the back of my head, am I really doing this right? Like, is this the best way? So I started looking around and I found you. I honestly don't know how. I don't know where, but I found you and I started following and I was like, okay, oh wait, she's talking stuff. Wait, active campaign? Okay. I can't with active campaign. Because none of my clients were going to use active campaign. They were just not that sophisticated in their marketing.
Mm-hmm.
Like that just was not what they were doing. But I started listening to you talk. I started finding you on podcasts and hearing you and was like, okay, yeah, you know what? She doesn't just talk active campaign. She's got some fundamentals that I am going to listen to and learn from her. And I saw Automation Club and I think I almost immediately dismissed it because I was like, oh God, this is not going to be in my budget right now. Like, and then I read how much it was. I was like, okay.
Yeah, so you came in as a founding member. So you're just like out here paying pennies on the dollar for my genius. So y'all who are listening and
Okay,
aren't already
she's
in, missed the boat.
crazy. That is crazy. She's got to be charging more for this. This is some kind of special. Like it's a special. So if this is special and this is what it is right now, I'm getting in before it's more. So I did. And it's been probably the best thing for my business and for me helping my clients, which is which is just wild. Um,
So
for
what did it do for, first of all, what was one of the first things that you wanted to do like in your business? Because I know as automation people, it's always like cobbler's kids out here barefoot, right? So what was one of the first things you wanted to do for your own business?
I just needed to actually document my process. I mean, it was in my head. I've got it in, written on a notebook in like multiple pages across the thing. And it's like, I know it's set up because I set it up. But at the same time, oh, I tweaked this little thing. I was like, I'll go back and fix it. And then when I went back to fix, I'm like, wait, where was this little thing? Oh crap, that impacts this over here. Why do I not have this written down yet? And so I stopped and had not done that. Like I started the process of documenting it, but I had not done it for myself because doing it in a bubble just, I don't know, I would start tweaking what I was trying to document and still never
Mm-hmm.
document the tweak. And I was like, okay, stop. But I couldn't stop myself because that's what I love to do. And so that was like the first thing.
I did a workshop specifically about documenting processes. Was that the first time you sat down and really got through?
Yes. Yes. I mean, really got to the end of it and was like, oh, these are all my steps. Now I can go back in, tie in all the little pieces that I was trying to tweak and see how they're going to cascade down into the next step, like into the next phase, into whatever. And yeah, it was a game changer. And I only documented the very first part of my process. Like I didn't even document the after they've paid part. It was just the here's how they get here and here's how they pay me. And it allowed me to let go of a couple of systems that I was using and really dive into a system that I wanted to be using, which was, and I know you're kind of you're not system agnostic, but you are like like all automation people, we have systems where we hate them. We will not use them. We will not recommend them. And that's fine if you want to use them. And here's the person that I recommend you go see.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm
I
not
want to
doing it.
differentiate. You're talking about tools, like specific tools, right?
Yes, specific to
Okay.
yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So tools are not systems, and I just want to make that distinction
Yes.
for the people
Yeah. And
listening. So
I do
the
that a
system,
lot. But yeah, a
yeah,
tool is not the system. The system is the grouping of tools that does what you need it to do.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry. I
System
am
systems
using
are
that
the
word.
steps. It's like step
Yeah.
one, step two, step three, and then the tool is like, oh, can we come in and get this software to expedite some of this stuff? So if you're listening,
Okay.
just
See,
know
yeah,
that.
I feel
So
like I don't explain that well. So I might need to work on like differentiating that in my brain because it's all one big thing in my brain.
right. But then when you're talking to non-technical people, they already think systems are tool equals tools. So we got
Equals
to
tools. Right.
debunk
Right. Right.
that.
Right. Right. Right.
So you just have this one sort of beginning process documented, but that's already super helpful for you. What did it allow you to do in terms of your selling, your marketing, your client process? Was it helpful in clarifying, some of the things about your marketing?
Well, it did. It actually clarified a couple of things. One, that when people were coming in, they were going down one of two paths. And I was thinking that they were each, I won't say they were each building their own path because they weren't, but I didn't have it documented well enough to realize I just have two paths. It was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. So even though I'm kind of tweaking this form and customizing it for this client when they asked for X, it's still the same form. Like I
Yeah.
don't need a new form every
Mm-hmm.
time. Like so I was able to clean up like 6 different versions of my forms and then just put some,
Have like
gonna get
conditional
technical,
sections.
but yeah, I put some conditional stuff in there. So if they ticked yes, these questions showed up, which was like, oh, that's so much nicer.
Mm-hmm.
And it also
Yeah.
means I don't have to look at it and figure out, okay, I need to send them this form.
Right. It's just all one thing. Yeah, I love that. I love that instant clarity. Like documentation yields instant clarity. So if you're taking notes,
Absolutely.
this is the one.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we didn't immediately have co-working. And from my perspective, what I saw was I feel like people don't need more information. So when I started Automation Club, I was in a program and I was following kind of, someone else's blueprint. And it was like, get everybody in for, $7, $9 a month, and they can just get content. And
Mhm.
then, they can ascend to different levels to get access to you. And what I realized was that access, that space to actually get things done, like was the thing, seemed to be the thing that people needed. And so that first it started out as, strategy sessions, like we'd have sort of ask me anything calls. And then I was like, let's just get some shit done. So tell me, did you come to any of when it was just kind of like strategy calls, Q&A? Did you come to any of those?
Um, I feel like I may have come to like one of the last ones that you did,
Okay.
because I feel like most of the time that we've been doing it, you talk to us kind of in the beginning about something, right? And then we just spend time doing. So I don't think that I actually ever came. I'm just trying to remember because it feels like I've been doing it with you for a while, and it's only been a few months, right? I mean, I don't have no idea how long I've been in there, but I know it hasn't been the whole year. I mean, I didn't come in
Yeah.
very, very beginning.
Yeah. So I think there's something to be said for, yeah, come ask me anything. But eventually I was like, you know what? People just really need to get things done. So you have been like a regular and a staple since we started. So now the format is we have 2 2-hour co-working sessions per
Mhm.
month. And I tend to post them a quarter at a time. So you can look at the schedule for the next quarter, you put it on your calendar, and you've been pretty regular at those. So tell me how that has been and how that has helped you in terms of like making progress on the things that you want to be doing for yourself.
Right. So I've used them for both things. So getting things done for myself, but also getting things done for clients. For myself, it's just being able to have that body doubling there. And like, even though we may be off camera, we really don't, check in after a certain amount of time or whatever. There's no real conversation. And the other places where I'd gone to do actual co-working, there was like conversation and they're popping back in with having like convo back and forth. And I'm like, what? But I'm trying to work. Like, I can't turn your sound off. Can you, can you go somewhere? Like, you just stepped into my office and I'm trying to work. Like, that's what it felt like. And so just to be able to have a space where it was clear we're working in this sprint of time, and then we're going to all check in, and then we're going to go back to working in our sprint of time, and we're not going to be having conversation in the middle of the sprint. And if we do have conversation, it's taken off into another room. Like that, I think was the biggest switch up from any of the co-working stuff that I had done. So just having that and having that body doubling and knowing even if I got distracted or whatever, I could come back, regroup, refocus, and do it again.
Yeah, I think the sprints, we have sprints at the end where we check in and somebody's like, yeah, I got lost in the sauce. Like, chalk
Yep.
that up to a wash. But we've got 4 chances. So it's like, even
Right.
if you only get two or
Exactly.
three focused, like it's more than
Exactly.
you would have, on your own, potentially.
Exactly.
So I love that. And yeah, the breakout rooms, it's embarrassing how long it took me to actually learn to use Zoom breakout rooms. One of my non-techie clients actually taught me because she does so many workshops. And that has been kind of the game changer because I want to be there as a resource, but I also want everybody who's in the zone to stay in the zone. And so
Right.
the breakout rooms have been great because sometimes people get stuck and we hop in there and it's not even necessarily a technical, like maybe it's they actually need to set a boundary and make some decisions.
Hmm.
And that's why they're having so much trouble automating. And so the things we do in the breakout rooms, it's not just like, oh, let me fix your Zap for you. It's, we're going to look at everything that's going on and try to figure out the core issue that's holding you back and then like solve that so you can move on. So
Okay. I don't think I haven't done any breakout room sessions with you, but like I said, I appreciate the fact that you take those into another room to have those conversations because I'm curious by nature. So if you're conversating about something and like certain buzzwords catch my ear, I'm like, oh, I'm all in. Okay, yeah, I know I'm supposed to be working on this like automation but now I'm all in your conversation now. And it defeated the purpose. So I really appreciate that.
So
Um,
I want to talk about the revelation that happened at our last co-working session because the core group of people who are just like hardcore regulars, I think about half to a little over half of y'all are also systems folks in some fashion.
mm,
Maybe it's operations, maybe it's tech. And I said, oh, yeah, maybe that's the people who really need to be in here. And you said, oh, I thought that's what this was. And I was like, oh, duh. Like, I envisioned Automation Club for the people that I see like who are online, who are in Facebook or Threads or whatever, going like, hey, what's the best CRM, and because I wanted those people to have a place to go where they could get expert advice. I'm constantly trying to reframe that and say, hey, let's normalize asking people who is the expert I should talk to about this, not just throwing the question open on the World Wide Web and getting advice from like, whoever. You don't know their background, they don't know your business. And so that was my original vision. And those people are still welcome. But what I'm realizing is if those people are, if that's the level of effort that they care to put into it, is like, let me go post a thread,
right.
and take whatever advice, they're probably
They're not
actually
gonna
not my people.
oh,
They might grow
yeah,
into being my people, right?
right.
And so I love that you gave this revelation. And so I wanted to call that forward to say, one, like when you're inside the jar, like you can't see the label, all that good stuff. I was like, oh. And so I love that you said that because if there's other tech systems people, I invited someone in who does, very similar work to us. And I
Mhm.
think she and has her own membership. And I think she was like, well, I can't be in here because we're competitors. And I was like,
Yeah,
if you
but
need
we're
to get your
not.
shit done,
Like,
you need right.
but
Like
you do active campaign. I mean, we're not really competitors. I mean,
right.
the
I'm
way
not
it
saying you
comes
thought
down
that,
to
but
it.
I
Oh,
invited
no, no,
someone
no. I
else. So I
mean,
feel like,
just
but
in
yeah. And,
general.
and even if we did, I really believe like what's for you is for you.
Hmm.
And so, if you need that supportive place to come get your stuff done, doesn't matter if we're experts in the quote unquote same thing, because no two people are ever going to know the exact same things.
Exactly.
There might
Exactly.
be overlap, but so I love that. So systems people, tech people, like we're I'm here, we've got your refuge. If you if you need to get stuff done for your
Absolutely.
business, you need to put some shoes on those cobbler's kids. Like I want to invite those people too. And my non-techies as well. Like I love, those people who maybe you can't afford to hire the things that you need to get done,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
that doesn't mean you want to be out here just duct taping any old thing together.
And
So
that's what I would say too. It's like it's not just for the techie people, it's for the people who have the DIY, roll up their sleeves, maybe a little bit intimidated by tech, right? But they have to have that strong DIY mentality to come in and get it done. Because there is a difference just of that two groups of people. Like there's the people who want it done, like they just want it done. They don't really care who does it.
Hmm.
And then there's the
I
DIYer.
I have something to say to those people too, though, because our main offer is a 6-month retainer, and that's a commitment. And so another reason that this community exists is because we've had some clients come through where this was the first encounter of them hiring us. Maybe they followed me for a long time, maybe not, but this was the first encounter working together where like it was not great. It was actively harmful to our business for one reason or another to have those kinds of clients in. And so another vision that I have for this community is a place for those people. Like, just because you want to hire it done, you want to know who's doing that. So it's another place in addition to, you can go binge my YouTube, my podcast, my blogs, all those things. But if you want to actually see like, oh, how does she think and how, does she get things done? Like, maybe send your team member in here for a month to work on
Right.
something.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be you if you're the CEO and you need to be like doing those other things, but it
Yeah.
is that testing ground to, to build community and to build relationship, because that's the thing that makes all the other stuff work. Even if we were hiring us to do a thing for you, but you don't trust us and you're questioning everything that we do, and you're
Yes.
not giving us what we need to actually get it done, and then you
Yes.
don't get results, and then shocker, right?
Right.
You wonder
Right.
why. So it's also there for those
That makes
people.
sense. Makes a lot of
And
sense.
yeah, and so I know you kind of just did, but like would you say to people who are like, I'm still not sure like if I
Mhm.
should try this out or if it will work for me?
So I would say basically there's some things as a business owner that you have to be aware of coming in to do any kind of automation. First of all, you have to know if you're ready for automation because not everybody is. I mean, just being
Amen.
real, not everybody is. And the fastest way to find out is if you're ready is to come to one of those co-working sessions, right? And then lay out a plan of here's what this looks like. Like listen to some of the replays that are in the group so that will give you an idea of if you're ready or not. Because as a service provider, someone who implements for clients, I'm going to tell you you're not ready. And then you're going to be like, but I want so and so. I'm like, but it's not going to do anything for you. Like, it's just not. Like, if you want to pay me money, I don't know. I might say yes just because. I mean, like, being honest, if you want to pay me money and I can tell you, and I've already told you it's not going to do anything for you, but you want to have it there, okay, you want to have it ready. I could see that. But if you don't have the pieces before, the pieces after, did you just waste money? I mean, really, did you just waste money and time?
I've really seen that play out so much.
You
Like,
know? So I feel like that's probably the biggest thing that I would say that Automation Club can do for you. Even if you're not a do-it-yourselfer or a techie person, it will allow you to test if your systems are ready to bring someone in to automate them. And
awesome.
yeah, like my own in our last, was it our co-working? No, it was one of our workshops. You actually helped me realize that, yeah, I really only have these two, like I need to streamline this. There's three buckets. There's three true buckets, and I'm only using two of them. And one of them is for, the next level. It's like, oh, okay, I didn't even see that. And I'm setting up my own automations for stuff, and I didn't see that. So,
Yeah,
so
that perspective
imagine
is so important.
if you're not like if your brain doesn't work like that, then you're not gonna see those automations and you're gonna have all these disparate pieces basically trying to talk to each other that where you could have something much more streamlined, but you don't know it. You don't know it's possible. So I would say that's the reason to join Automation Club, even if you're not techie, even if you're not going to do it yourself, to at least get yourself prepped to get it done.
Also, there's a 30-day free trial. So
Oh,
RIP your
well, yeah.
excuses. So we'll just leave you with that. LaShae, I appreciate you so much. Thank you for coming on and just giving us your perspective from the inside. I know it's going to help a lot of people.
Thanks
And
for
I hope
having
to
me.
see some of y'all in our next co-working call. Of course, the link will be in the show notes. I also would love for you to hit up that review link and give us a 5-star review on your platform of choice to get people back in the know that we are back and we're coming out with new episodes. That's all for now. I'll see you next time, and don't forget to begin as you mean to go on.